Hey guys, Steve here. Today we're going to check some conditions on some old English Pokemon cards. I've pulled these ones out in particular because they all have a few little differences that I really think you should need to look out for if you're looking to either A, grade these, collect a near mint set for yourself, or just if you have some and you don't know how to condition check them, to be able to display them in the proper condition for a eventual buyer. I made this video just for you guys. Oh, I don't know. I just did it because why not? People ask me to do it, so I do it. I'm just a yes man, all right? Let's start with the bottom right, the Gyarados. So there's a whole bunch of different conditions when it comes to trading cards. Most importantly is the near mint condition. Now this card here looks pretty damn good on first glance. It might have a few things here and there, like there's a little bit of dirt stuck to the top of the card there, making it look not too crash hot. I wouldn't call this gem mint by any means, even though it does look damned close. This was in a binder collection where it was left unsleeved, and what can happen is, if you can see a little bit closer there, all these tiny little specks, they kind of get stuck on the card, they combine with humidity, and it lowers the card's grade a little bit, in my opinion. Maybe to a grading company, they might think different, but a buyer would definitely not be too happy to get a dirty card. But this card is pulled out for a certain reason, not because of dirt. You've seen it right there. This bad boy right here. This is a love tap, in my opinion. This is a big Dentarino. This is a very sad story on an otherwise great condition Gyarados. I'd probably call this near mint. I would say this would grade at least an 8. On a good day, this might even grade a 9, to be honest. This might even grade a 9. But unfortunately, with that dent there is a chance that a grading company misses that, but I don't think it's going to happen. And it has a big, unfortunate dent. So you can't really see it from the back, which is very surprising because it's quite thick. But, you know, if you sold this as near mint and a buyer bought it, they'd be within their rights to be pretty upset. Anything with a dent, crease, or any other thing really, I would put it played. Doesn't matter how good condition the card is. This card could escape through light played if you use those conditions. Now eBay does have the condition on their website. They do have light played, so this could escape as light played in my opinion. But unfortunately, if this was just scanned, it would look near mint on a scanner. No one would think twice. That's that. Haunter is in the same boat. Looks pretty good, relatively clean all around. No real hollow scratches at all. Very surprising on a fossil card. Tiny bits of edgeware here and there. Not really that much. Same problem, dent at the top. That happens over time. You never know what happens to these things. It gets sleeved with a piece of dirt and it gets pressed against it in the folder. Anything can happen with these things. So you've got to look out for those micro dents. This Dragonite does look pretty good if it was, you know, scanned or whatever, or just take a phone photo at a certain light. But on second glance, it's got a scratch going across the actual card. It's really hard to see these scratches on white cards as the silvering underneath is white. It does have the normal fossil silvering left and right. Now, can I show this? Let me amp up my light a little bit. Is this going to show? No, it's not going to play. So I can see this in person, but all across the card here is tiny little, I guess, scratches where the silvering's coming through. And that might, you know, not show up in a photo, but someone's going to be very unhappy to receive that in person. Otherwise, great looking card. Probably put it in the light play category. Still a great condition card for 25 years or whatever, but unfortunately, the age of a card does not change the condition. Now we have this Articuno. Pretty similar story to the Dragonite, but this one has print lines. Print lines usually aren't that hard to see, but when you do see them, you cannot unsee them. See across the bottom here, print lines. That's prevalent on pretty much every single old holographic card. It can happen on every single one from every era. It even happens on the modern cards today, to be honest. And that's just how it is. You know, I actually can't remember what causes print lines. I think it's like the hollow sheet ending or the hollow sheet starting, or something to do with, yeah, obviously why they're printed. You know, correct me in the comments, let me know. But it's escaped me right now, but I know how to spot them, that's for sure. And otherwise, pretty decent condition Articuno. And print lines can also happen on the back of a card as well. They're a lot harder to show in a video, but they do and they can happen. This Dark Charizard is probably the saddest I've been today, as this is a very good condition card. Very, very, very good condition card. Does have the fabled print line at the top right there. You can see it go across. Very straight all through the card, going through his face, in between the gap there. Doesn't look like it clears through all the way. Nice little swirly boy. But yeah, it's there. But this here has a binder dent. Usually on the 4th slot of the binder, 1st, 4th, I guess that would be 7th. As the binder getting flipped over and over again. This is the 4th slot, so this is number 4 in Team Rocket. As the card goes whip, 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 whoop, the binder indent. Some of the old cards, they will have binders, like binders with the D ring, I guess. They're not side-loaded binders, is what I'm trying to explain. They'll get caught by this, and you will get the dents. So a lot of these old collections are in D ring binders, and this can happen. Now, if someone took a photo of this like that, and then like that, it would take a very experienced person to be like, that card has a binder dent. Or you would have to use like some probable theory to be like, there's a chance it has a binder dent, so I only want to pay a certain amount. That's usually what I do when I buy stuff. And I try my best to not get under my certain amount, because worst case scenarios happen pretty much all the time for me. I'm pretty much used to it by now. So, you know, a worst case scenario is my life. We got the Dark Dragonite here. Now, I pulled this one out, as far as I'm aware, there is nothing really wrong with this card. Now, a lot of people ask me, what is the baseline for a card that you would grade, Steve? An old English Pokemon card. Sorry, I got the hiccups right at the end of the video. An old English Pokemon card. What is the baseline? You want a card that has very little to no holo scratching. I'm talking about very little to no, because they hate that stuff. Yeah, honestly, this has, from what I see, this has a tiny one on the bottom left. I am not actually grading this card, as I want to sell this to someone to enjoy a near mint Dark Dragonite first edition. I don't think it's worth PSA 7, 8 on this card, because I think this will look great in someone's collection, not even as a complete set, just as a Dark Dragonite itself, because it looks great. It's great condition. I can talk about this card all day. So you want clean corners on all of them. You will generally get always one corner with this little white dot. That is a cutting wear dot, I guess, from when the cards are separated on the sheets. To me, that isn't edge wear, I guess. And when I say it's not edge wear, it's not caused by wear on the edges of the card from being used or whatever. You can open up the pack and it's like that. That doesn't mean it's not edge wear, but I usually wouldn't call that edge wear. I guess I would call that a bad corner cut. It still can mess with your grade, but it's unavoidable. And I just saw it just then. I just saw a print line on this card. I want to see if I can pull it up for you guys. It's a horizontal print line. Can I see that? No, I can't see that. That's unfortunate. Anyway, I tried my best, but I can't show it to you. Great looking Dark Dragonite. This is the base of the minimum condition I would grade on an old English Pokemon card. So use this as your reference. I believe this would grade an 8. It might grade higher. If PSA loves you, it might grade higher. I have graded cards worse than this as PSA 10 in the past. You know, you can't always replicate past successes. I'm just saying that out loud. I've graded PSA 10s of this, of cards worse than this in the past, but the past is the past. You can't do it again. So I'm leaving that there. I've touched that card for way too much today, unsleeved. My name's Steve. I hope you enjoyed this informational video. If you want more stuff like this, feel free to leave a comment, ask away. I'm always there on Instagram, willing to give some help or whatever. So have a great day. My name's Steve, yet again, for the 3rd time in the video. My name's Steve again, 4th. My name's Steve, 5th. Hope you enjoyed.